One of the biggest problems fleets have is ensuring that there is cargo within their trailer on the backhaul. So you might drive from Toronto to Detroit with a full load, and you may drive back without any freight at all, which is, of course, a cost that you incur. And in order to resolve that issue, FleetRover has developed a system which can help you handle on-demand dispatch. So, for example, if a customer calls and they're aiming to book business with you for a particular load, and it's more on an on-demand basis, all you need to do is type in that customer's name. Once the customer comes up, you click on Nearby Assets. Once Nearby Assets comes up, you can see the asset, the driver, the available capacity, the distance, and the estimated time of arrival. In this specific instance, we're just going to be looking at a load that's quite small. So we want to find the driver that's closest, and it's Chris Atkinson. So we click on Chris Atkinson, and it brings us to his driver page. If you saw the vehicle page video, you'll notice that it's very similar to the vehicle page. There's some additional metrics on where the driver is, what he's doing, his distance traveled, his ETA to his next location, and his current objective. Now, once we access this messaging window, we can do a few things. We can send Chris a PDF, we can send him an image, we can send him a sound file, but what we're going to do right now is dispatch him. Again, this customer's called, and we want the driver that's closest to that customer to come there and take care of it right away. So we click on New Load Pickup, and we have a few details that we can fill out. The pickup location, the item description, the item type, the dimensions, any additional notes. We can also attach a bill of lading to this message. Then we send that objective over to Chris. And once we do that, he receives it like this. A new load pickup request sent to him on his hours of service application. When he clicks accept, those location coordinates are synced to his route map. And what that means is that if he clicks on the map on his main page of the application, it will give him step-by-step directions to that location via Google Maps. Now, of course, Google Maps doesn't offer truck-approved routes, but if you have smaller vehicles, this will work quite well for you. The other feature that augments this one and helps you manage driver communication a little bit better is what we call transactional messaging. So through the FleetRover system, you've already seen you can dispatch a driver. If you've dispatched that driver and they stop somewhere other than where you've dispatched them to, or if they stop at a location that is not a POI that we know about, then once they stop, we'll ask them why. Is it a customer location? Is it a fuel station? Is it a yard, a trailer swap, a scale? Depending on whether or not they've landed at one of these locations, or if we have data indicating that they've landed at one of these locations, we may throw another message. So for example, if they say that they've arrived at a fuel station, or if we know that they've arrived at a fuel station based on points of interest set up in the system, we'll ask them, how much fuel are you filling, and what's the approximate cost of that fuel? That avoids you having to go through some complex and expensive fuel card integration program and instead get this information into the system through the driver themselves. Now, this isn't meant to force the driver to take additional steps. You can turn this feature on or off, but it does give you an opportunity to send messages to the driver, not in a pestering way, in a contextualized way. There's only one or two messages shown at any given time, and they're based on what the driver is doing. Another example of this is sending the driver a message once they've arrived at the location, just asking them to confirm, or asking them to get a signature on the document that you sent with them. Perhaps that's a bill of lading. Another example here is once the driver leaves a customer location, a trailer swap, or a yard, when they restart that vehicle, we throw them one quick message asking them to update their available capacity. Now, we can do this in skids, we can do this through a simple input, but the key here, the point here, is to give them an opportunity to indicate how much available capacity they have left in their vehicle. And once we have that data available to us, we're able to optimize the overall, optimize the operation so that you have information on capacity and you can ensure you are never missing out on opportunities on the backhaul and are reducing empty miles as much as you possibly can.